Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. My name is Threach. I'm here for my inaugural Retrothon. Very excited to be here to speedrun the greatest action RPG of all time to follow up on Diablo 2 and Titan Quest, Microsoft FreeCell. You didn't know this could be speedrun? Who knew? Instead of being good at things that are useful, like math or chemistry, I got good at spite and being very pedantic. So those are my two skills here. What I'm gonna do for you today is a 15-minute time attack. That just means I'm gonna try to finish as many games of Microsoft FreeCell as I can in that 15-minute period. You'd believe it, there is no soundtrack to this game, so I've just got some tunes on in the background to avoid us getting DMCA'd for anything. This is the Windows 7 version of Microsoft FreeCell. In my opinion, it is the best and the most responsive, and it has the fewest unnecessary animations. It's great for clicking. You can still get a version for Windows 10. I'm on Windows 11, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to get that 15 minutes started right now. It's literally just going to be me playing games of FreeCell. My speedrun PB, I think, is 14 seconds right now, just so that you all are kind of aware of what we're doing. I'm not going to beat every game. It's just not going to happen in that 15 minutes. So you're just going to see a bunch of that played. So without further ado, I'm going to give myself 3, 2, 1, go. And we'll start a new game here. So there are, basically I've been playing Microsoft FreeCell since high school. So like, when did I graduate? 2009. And I was just really annoyed that I didn't know how to play it. So I was like, I'm going to learn this out of spite. And when I went off to college, I started to play on the computer, and I was really homesick, so I'd call my mom and I'd be playing FreeCell at the same time. And then over time, it just became kind of subconscious. So this is where that has kind of ended up. I think, so my win rate is about 60% right now. It's 59%, sorry. The screen just popped up and told me it was 59%. Yeah, 59%, which isn't amazing, but it's after like 11,000 games on this computer, I think. This is not the first time I've imaged this computer either, so there's definitely more than that. I think if I had to estimate, whoops, I'm already clicking out of things. If I had to estimate, I think I've played, I don't know, 200,000 games of FreeCell. Probably more than that, to be honest. I have one of those little FreeCell handheld consoles too, which is funny because it's like the entire purpose of it is to exist, so that you can play FreeCell on it. And it's not very good and not very responsive, but it's neat to have. So if you are not familiar with what the point of FreeCell is, me either. Good job. You're here. You're in the club. So FreeCell has the 52 standard cards in a deck, and you are attempting to put them in descending order in alternating suits from king to 2, and your aces are always going to start in the pile up in the top right. So you can see we put the ace up there. And I forgot to ask you, chat, if you can keep track of how many games we've won. I was going to ask you all if you could do math, because I sure can't. Also, I'm like not paying attention to the number of games that are happening. So I think we're up to like 3 or 4 maybe at this point, and it's about to be still that many. So you're trying to stack all of the cards in a suit up in the home cells, which are up in the top right corner, and you're also using what are called the free cells up here in the top left corner. And hey, that's the name of this movie. So the free cells are up here so that you can make your cards move. Basically, you are allowed to move n+1 cards. So if you have a stack of 5 cards that you want to move, you need to have 4 free spaces available. And usually you can make that happen once the game starts to clear up a little bit. Because I've been playing this for so long, and like I said, it's kind of subconscious at this point, I just like feel what the stacks are. So like, I don't know a better way to describe it than that. You can just kind of feel how big the stacks are, and then tell like whether or not they're going to move to a thing. Same with like colors and stuff. I just at this point the suits are kind of just happening in the back of my brain. you played like 10 games of solitaire in your life. I think that's fine too. You know, it's not for everyone. Like I said, I'm incredibly pedantic, so this kind of stuff and the FreeCell leaderboard, which has its own rich history, it's a tapestry of activity and drama and everything that you could possibly hope for on a speedrun leaderboard. That's what's going on here. 4 wins so far. I don't know. 4, that sounds right. Sure. Like I said, my PB is 14 seconds. I do have that up on YouTube somewhere. And I think it was a Twitch highlight for a while, which rest in peace. But I haven't really been timing my runs for a long time. This is really tough on the wrists, and I am crumbling into dust as I age. So it's like hard to run a bunch of runs back to back. So 15 minutes is about the amount of time where I'm like, okay, my fingers don't want to click anymore. That might be 7. Absolutely. You know what? You can speedrun anything. If I can speedrun Microsoft FreeCell, you can speedrun anything, and I promise you that. It's also very funny. There is a FreeCell RPG. Who knew that we needed that? And it's called FreeCell Quest, and I made the leaderboard for it, and I don't even think I've submitted a run for it yet, but that's kind of one of my upcoming goals for my stream. I'm not streaming quite as much anymore, but I am very excited to get more into the FreeCell Quest meta because it's really where things are happening. You could get a stylus. I think that would also work. All right. Gosh, sometimes you just get really bad deals and they come out here and you're like, there's nothing happening. And sometimes I can see several moves ahead and can just tell when I get kind of a dud deal. I absolutely do not play with like pre-seeded ducks. I couldn't do that. There are so many. There are like millions of them. I could not possibly learn several of them. I was talking about FreeCell Quest. That actually does have some predetermined deals. So it's kind of easy to like pick those up, but that's just not how I play Microsoft FreeCell. But you can do whatever you want because it's your life. And it's cool. Oh my gosh, keep clicking out of it. Shout out to my SteelSeries mouse. I've gone through like 3 or 4 Logitech mice at this point, and they all die by double clicking. And the SteelSeries I think I've had for like 3 or 4 years at this point, and it is glorious. So 10 out of 10 would SteelSeries again. I'm not sponsored by SteelSeries, and neither is this channel probably. Very excited to be here. There are a ton of excellent runs. If you haven't checked out the schedule, you should do !schedule in chat to see what's on the docket. There are many, many, many talented runners who are going to be showcasing their favorite retro speedruns this week, and it is going to be awesome. I am also going to be running Wizards and Warriors. I know, right? SteelSeries, sponsor me. I always joke that on my stream, I'm like, if literally any sparkling water company wants to sponsor me, I would be their greatest salesperson. I drink so much sparkling water. Sorry to my dentist. But yeah, Wednesday evening Eastern time, I'm going to be running Wizards and Warriors, so we'll see how that goes as well. I don't know how many games we're up to. A bunch. Probably 8 wins? We'll call it 8. I'm not going to watch the video back. It'll be fine. I am going to read chat. I do see some messages popping up there. And I appreciate everyone who's tuning in to watch, again, Microsoft FreeCell, which is hysterical to me. It's just one of those things that's so absurd. It's like, why is this happening? I don't know. Why does anything happen? Is she talking because she's nervous? Probably. It's fine. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal Saturday. And if you're interested in learning how to competitively play FreeCell, I encourage it. My plan is also to make a video explaining the rules of FreeCell, how to do things, how to get better at it, how to not get worse at it, and you never know. You could be the next person on the leaderboard. I need people to come in and beat my scores. So, you gotta do that. I'll be honest, I don't know if this comes natively installed on Windows 10 or 11. Because I just keep installing the Windows 7 version because it's the best. There's like some executable out there that you can get, but I'm just running what feels comfortable to me. All right. Yeah, so we can kind of see, like, at that point. It's funny because this is the hintless category of FreeCell. There's also a hinted category, where you can just press H and enter over and over and over again, and that's the whole game. So I obviously prefer this one because it requires skill, but this is the specific category is like hintless for the Windows 7 version. There are a few different versions available on the leaderboard. You can go parse that out. But yeah, if you have it on mobile, or if you have an older version or a newer version, I think I have the XP one installed on my computer. I don't think it's very good. There's a lot of like quality of life stuff that they introduced. Card backs. Oh my gosh, that is true. I remember, I don't know which version it was. Maybe it was 95, but they had like the seashell one. I just went through like a whole album of those card backs not too far back, and I was like, wow, I remember those as a kid. I am a child of the 90s, and I still remember when we got one of the first computers we ever had, and it was a Compaq, I think, if we remember Compaqs. And my brother was so astounded because we had a 30 gigabyte hard drive. And he's like, we're never gonna use that. Now that's a DLC. But, you know, it's cool. It's too much space. I know, like, what are you gonna do with 30 gigs? That's so many Microsoft Paint files. You know, I'm not counting, so I think at the end of this, I might just make up a number and say that's how many games I played. 200 megabyte hard drive. Wow. I'm just thinking, like, what's the last flash drive I had, or SD card that was like 64 gigs? Like, just, yeah, just absolute madness in terms of the scaling of storage and how far technology has come. Also, what's like the latest retro console? Isn't it the Wii? It's something like that, where just something that came out when I was a child is now considered retro. That's a huge FreeCell DLC. I would absolutely play a 30 gigabyte FreeCell DLC. I don't even know what you do. Loot boxes, I guess. I don't know. Bethesda, I've got your next idea. It's fine. I guess it's more of an EA thing. Bethesda would just crash the whole time. Don't come after me, Bethesda. I don't have any money. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I see GameFAQs mentioned in the chat. That makes me so happy. I remember the ASCII art from like the... Ooh! Oh, something broke. Hang on, let me relaunch. Sorry about that. Sometimes the game will just, like, do its thing. And sometimes, a column will just end up in the wrong place. There is no way to reset that, so I don't really know what happens. So I just had to correct it. The mod community for FreeCell? Oh, yeah. No, it's good. I see some familiar faces out there in chat. I appreciate you folks coming out to watch this ridiculousness. Also excited to see new names I don't recognize. Again, this is my first time in a Retrothon. I'm really, really excited to be here. I'm excited to watch a lot of the runs this weekend. Just when it's somehow too hot to go outside, it's nice to have a thing to just like chill and watch on your phone. Great. All right. We got about 2.5 minutes left. I think we can get a few more wins in here. I'm gonna say I'm at like 83 so far. That's cool. That's a lot of wins. Good job, me. No. Nope. Not gonna do it. Crunch out a few final. There it is. You know what? We're aiming for our quarterly goals here. We're gonna crunch out some final wins. Love it. I feel good. I have to look at what you're referring to with the 4700 number. I'll look in a minute and 35 seconds though. That I can swear. Great. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'll have to look at my stats once the timer is actually up, but it's something very silly. Also, sometimes I will just throw games away that have like legitimate moves. That happens sometimes. It's because we're going too fast, because we're speedrunning, because we're speedy quick. Nope. All right. A minute left. We could probably finish a game. All right. Maybe. All right. That's what I say the whole time. All right. All right. All right. All right, chat. See, this is why I had to learn FreeCell speedruns, because otherwise I'd be too powerful. 39 seconds. We can get one more. All right. Maybe. You should all check out Retrothon 2025 all week long. It's going on for a while. Definitely check out that schedule. Look for other things that you want to watch and hang out and chat. It always feels good to see people chatting and keeping the vibes going. I'm sure the organizers really appreciate it. And thank you so much to everyone on Retrothon's team for having me online. I'm going to call that my last run because there's no way I'm getting that done in 9 seconds. So let's reset. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone being here. You were following 2024. That's fine. If you want to follow me, you can. I'm on crab.town. That's a real thing. Thanks to my husband for giving up some time playing Blueprints. Shout out to my dog, who is adorable and sleeping on the couch right now. Thanks to everyone for the GGs. Super duper appreciate it. I'm going to hang out here, check out that schedule, and everyone keep watching because we got some great runs coming up. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom.